So I found this post on the Poke Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all. Here is a Pokemon investor that is already considering to sell about 95% of their collection. Now, it's for reasons that are valid, and this just brings up the topic in my point. When everybody says everyone is holding, there's so many people holding, this stuff's never going to be worth anything. Well, this is a scenario that sort of, brings that down that claim. Yes, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Are there more investors today than any other time previously? 100%. There is way more investors than ever. Back in Sword and Shield, there was more. Now in Scarlet and Violet, and now entering Mega Evolution, yes, more people than ever are holding on to Sealed. I can guarantee you that. I totally agree with that claim, because anyone denying that, I mean, it's so obvious people are doing it. Yes, it's true. But you gotta realize something. There are very few people that actually have, first of all, the mentality to hold for more than 2 to 3 years. Many people don't even have that because they've never held something physical, right? Especially Pokemon sealed stuff. After a few years, let's say the market maybe sees a downturn, maybe the market isn't as strong. Some people at that point, in 2 to 3 years, they'll look at that stuff. Maybe they'll be out of Pokemon, they won't even be interested, and they'll see, I've doubled, maybe even tripled my money. Why not just sell? There's some people that do that because of that reasoning. There's some people that are like this person. They have, something going on in their life and they have to sell. So, there's many cases of why a lot of these people right now that are, investing won't make it past maybe even 5 years, because there's just a lot of things that happen in between that time. The only people that really hold long term, right, like long term, are people that have money, right? People that have money don't really need to sell for anything, don't really even think about it, and are into Pokemon. And I mean, honestly, you don't really have to be into Pokemon, but I guess it sort of helps the case of holding something, right? Um, those are the people that usually, are in it for the long term, and it's just the people that usually have money. But the majority of people, what I'm trying to get at here, the majority of people have maybe, I don't know, 10,000 or under of sealed product. Now, I'm not saying $10,000 is a small amount of money, but relative to some people, it's not that much, right? So, a lot of these people that have this amount, 10,000 or so, once they double or triple their money, and let's say they have a life event or they're not into Pokemon anymore, most people will sell. Most people will sell in 2 to 3 years, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but most people will sell. So when there's this argument being made that, everyone's holding, this stuff's never going to be worth anything, well, realistically, think about the majority of people that are investing. They're not holding significant amounts, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and most of those people will just end up using that money, selling it when they double or triple, because why wouldn't you? That's most people, and especially if they're not interested in Pokemon anymore when the market goes down, that's most likely to happen. And like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but that's why Pokemon investing and long term continues to work, even though people bring up these claims that, everyone's investing now, it's never going to be worth anything in the future. Well, not everybody holds for 5+ years. A lot of people sell off majority of their stuff in a couple years. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong. It's just the cycle of this space. And this is just an example from this post, which I'm going to start reading now instead of yapping. That's why the space works. So let's just read their circumstance here. I have every booster box and 12 out of the 19 Scarlet and Violet PC ETBs. We have a 3-bedroom house and a second child due in January. So you can probably already see where this is going. My wife works from home, and I could use the money to build her a detached office so we can build a second nursery in our guest room, which is currently her office as well. Summer got busy and haven't even started on the project. I will build it myself. Material costs will be still $4,000 to $5,000. I just got my Mega Evolution booster box and PCTB yesterday and secured all the Phantasmal Flames products, so I'm tempted to sell all my Scarlet and Violet stuff and focus only on hitting future PC releases for the new Mega era at MSRP. Wondering if now is a good time to sell, as I'm up about 125% of my collection, or if I should wait. Other option is to buy all the material on credit cards and pay them off over time. My goal was to finish all Scarlet and Violet PC ETBs, but I'm all out of sealed product to trade and don't want to pay market price. So I feel like I'm so close yet so far. My motivation is to finish Scarlet and Violet is kind of gone at the moment. Any advice or suggestions? So let's just state the obvious here. No, this sentence right here. Other option is to buy all the material and credit cards and pay them off over time. I mean, this is not really a finance channel, but what is the credit card interest rate? Like 20 something percent or something ridiculous? Why would you even consider doing that? Like I've told you guys, there are people buying Pokemon, investing, scalping on credit card, on credit cards that, they can't even pay off the balance unless they sell or stuff. Like there's people doing that, right? Me personally, do I do that? No, I don't do that. I haven't paid a single penny of interest, and hopefully I never will have to. But no, why would you even think about that or even mention that option? If I'm this person and your top priority, which it seems like, is to build this detached office, just sell your Pokemon stuff. Like at the end of the day, does it suck because you're trying to, get all the stuff from Scarlet and Violet? Yes, it sucks. But you got to think about priority here. What is more priority? This office you want to build or your Pokemon? That's where you have to weigh out your priorities. And honestly, just it seems like you have a family and stuff. The family should be priority over Pokemon. Because at the end of the day, eventually you can buy more Pokemon, but whatever happens in these months and years for your family, that's more important than what's going on with Pokemon. Is it true that maybe in a year or so the stuff you have might double in value? It's possible, right? I mean, look at how this market is, and you have one of each, Scarlet and Violet booster box and most of the PC ETBs. I mean, yes, would it be good to hold? Yeah, but if you need the money for something in life, don't go to the extent of thinking about going into credit card debt and having to pay interest on that. Like, what kind of thinking is that? So if I was this person, if I was to give any advice, because that's what they're asking here, sell your stuff. What I would do, if you're going to sell 95% of your stuff, I would recommend, okay, they say they have every booster box in 12 out of the 19 Scarlet and Violet PC ETBs. Here's my only recommendation. Sell the not as popular sets. So if you could keep anything, whatever, they said they need to sell about 95% to probably sell 4,000 to 5,000. I would keep Destined Rivals, I would keep Prismatic Evolutions, 151, and Paldea Evolved. Those are the ones I would keep out of everything. Even maybe Paldean Fates, you can consider that. But 151 Prismatic and Destined Rivals, whatever amount that is, try not to sell those. I would say if you had to sell one of those three at like Destined, Prismatic, 151, it's really hard to say. I'd keep 151 100%, but Prismatic and Destined is kind of a toss-up. I would personally pick Prismatic, but that's kind of debatable for the booster box. If you have a Destined Rivals booster box at MSRP, I would sell Prismatic then. But even Prismatic is really hard to say. But those are the top things I would not sell, and whatever else you have to sell, I would do. But everything else, I would try to keep. So let's just read some of the comments here, but don't go into credit card debt to keep your Pokemon stuff. Please don't. I mean, that's not a smart financial decision at all. Yeah, that's not smart at all. Don't make unnecessary debt. Money is to be spent, dude. What is the point of investing if you're not going to spend it? My poncho set is more important to me than my family. Well, this person got other priorities. Family is more important than cardboard art we collect and invest in. Nothing wrong with securing profits during this boom. Yeah, also this person's securing profits, so there's nothing wrong with selling. I don't know, man. I am so against paying interest on credit cards that I say sell off whatever assets you can to avoid the outcome. The Pokemon situation is already a win for you. Sure, it'll go higher, but will it appreciate further into gains that exceed the amount you will likely lose from credit card interest? I doubt it. Please never buy the stuff on credit card debt. Sound like you need money, so sell. You can start investing once you're financially ready again. Exactly. I mean, I don't think I even got to go further into this. It's pretty obvious this person, what they should do. Do not go into credit card debt. That's the last thing you should do, especially for Pokemon, to just keep your stuff, especially if you're up 125%. Just sell this stuff. But like I said, try to keep 151, Prismatic, and Destined. If not, I'd definitely keep 151, then Prismatic and Destined is a toss-up, but do not go into credit card debt for Pokemon. It's really not worth it, even though, yes, the space is very lucrative. You can make a lot of money if you hold, yes, but it's not worth it at the end of the day to risk, whatever your, financial situation over Pokemon. It's really not worth it. So that's my advice to this person. Let me know down in the comments what you would do, but I think it's pretty obvious. Most people in the comment section agree with here. Do not go into debt and just sell the stuff, especially your up money. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.